And we're rolling. We're rolling. Get the music down a little bit. Here we go. What is today? March 24th. Is that where we're at already? Yes, March 24th, 2026. Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's a wonderful day. It looks kind of gray and overcast in my part of the world, in the suburbs of the Twin Cities of Minnesota. And what are we doing here today? First of all, I want to thank all our subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. That's what helps us out the most as a new channel. If you can subscribe, it'd be greatly appreciated. Or what else can help a lot is commenting, sharing, all that kind of happy fun stuff that helps us with YouTube. So anything you do to help a small channel like us is greatly appreciated. So I used to have that intro dialed and I'm stumbling all over it. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so this is video 2. I know the title's going to be confusing because it's day 4 on the video title, which it is honestly day 4, but it is video number 2 on my quest to better health, or my journey to better health and dealing with ADHD. So yesterday, if you saw that was a long video yesterday. This one's not going to be as long. I don't have as much to talk about. So this is going to be more of just a check-in, a follow-up to what's been done so far. But if anybody who watches this is going to be new to it, because we have a very, very small channel. So I will continue to do backstories, backpedal a little bit on my, all these videos, since I really don't have any regulars, for the most part. We don't have a lot of regulars yet because it's a very, very new channel. And I was gonna share this. Let's see, share screen. Nope, not that one. Da, 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 da. Not that one. Share screen. Is that the one? There we go. Da, 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 da. There we go. Anyways, so only reason I popped this up, but this is our channel on YouTube, Your Renaissance Man. I've had the channel for over a year, kind of lollygagged with it, whatever. Didn't really have a direction with it. I'm trying to focus in on it more right now, and was using that as part of my journey with dealing with my ADHD and so forth. And I thought I would dedicate time to this and then vlog about my experience using this channel. As you can see, we only got 18 subscribers. I got 32 videos. The videos are kind of all over the place. So anyways, if you have subscribed to us, greatly appreciate it. Continue to support us by either like, commenting, or sharing. It'd be wonderful. So anyways, back to the ADHD, blah, 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 blah stuff. Anyways, so I gotta stop the anyways. Anyways. Sound like a record stuck. So March 20th, I had a doctor's visit, and it was to get prescribed meds for ADHD. And what led to that was I was stalled in my life, and I was very unhappy with that. I wasn't able to get anything done that I wanted to get done. Um and I know it wasn't, I mean, I do have a diagnosis for depression. But it wasn't, definitely was not a depression stupor. I'm very much aware of that because I was diagnosed with depression. I don't know how many years ago, at least 30 years ago. So that's part of my everyday life. I'm in and out of that. Anyway, so recently I was really struggling. I call it getting out of my own way, and that's usually that's ADHD stuff. It's definitely like a mental barrier, a block. I call it a door that's shut. And so my son, who was also diagnosed with ADHD, and he is taking meds, was saying, "Dad, you should really try meds now. If you're having that much trouble where you're not having productive days and that kind of stuff." And I'm pretty resistant to meds for the most part. I don't really like taking meds. I don't really take pain pills. I don't take take some multivitamins, and I take Sudafed occasionally, and that's about it. So reluctant to try meds, but then also feeling overly frustrated with where my life's at and feeling like I need help. So that's what I did on March 20th. I went and saw a doctor, a new to me doctor, and got prescribed meds. And yeah, that was so we're on day 4. And if you watch my video from yesterday, it's a long video. So it's more of an in depth backstory to all this and where I'm at now and what led to this. I was diagnosed over a year ago. It's not something new to me. It's just well, I mean, the diagnosis is new, but the reason for the diagnosis was I was trying to figure out why I was the way I was in certain regards, meaning mentally. And my son was struggling with some stuff when he was in college, and we kind of dove into it together and started exploring ADHD, which led to him getting diagnosed. And when he got diagnosed, he confirmed it. He's like, "That's us. That's what we are. That's what we're dealing with." So then I went and got diagnosed also. So it was, it wasn't earth shattering. It wasn't awakening. It was just confirmation more than anything to realize, yep, that's me. Now I know. And for my peace of mind, it was to learn how to research it on my own and do what I could for self care, better understand what I'm dealing with. Because looking back on it, I've been dealing with it for a very long time, meaning childhood, teen years, whatever. And just, and the reason, the reason it was probably not diagnosed earlier in my life was because I was an average student. I wasn't struggling terribly in school. I was struggling more with wanting to be there than I was with, you know, performing in school. So, I mean, I wasn't a star student, but I wasn't a great student, but it wasn't enough where they bring you and your parents in your office and say, "Oh, we think John's got a problem here. We should really look into this." Nobody ever It was never on anybody's radar, and that's what the psychologist said to me when I was tested. He goes, "Well, obviously you're not that bad because you're looking at it this late in life and you're functioning adult and you're holding a job and all that kind of stuff and raised a child and, you've done things in your life that, some people with ADHD really bad can't hardly function at all. So, why here type thing." And I told him it was basically just to confirm it and try to explore it a little bit and understand it better, for me being able to manage it on my own. And managing it on my own did work well for a while. I've had some life changes here in the last few years that kind of add to my stress level, which I think are contributing to why I'm difficulty dealing with it right now. And that's taking care of an elder parent. Um, I mean, that's added a lot of stress to my life. So I think that's contributed to me not being able to maintain as well. Um, but as far as self care, things that did work for me was the gym, I mean, physical fitness, going to the gym daily, even just going for a walk every day. It just clears my head. It sets my pace, gets the endorphins going, all that happy, fun stuff. So, and what else would help me with managing it? Being outside a lot, sunlight, which I know that's a big thing too for helping with it. And then my work is seasonal. So in the winter, I'm indoors a lot and not working because I don't have workflow. So itchy nose. Anyways, um, so that contributed kind of like seasonal depression type stuff on top of it, through the winter months. And so it was always important for me to take vitamin D and go to the gym even more if I had, if I was less busy, just for self care, self management of it. And, but then the vicious cycle part of it, the stuff that wasn't really good for me is I would use sugar and caffeine to kind of chase getting that alertness or that buzz or whatever that feels like that little jump, that little kickstart, which would help me bridge the gap sometimes when I was struggling to get, focus, for example. And so like that, this winter, winter of 2025, 2026, Slow winter. My gym membership has got problems. I got to fix that. And then I'm not feeling well on top of it. And then I don't want to fix my gym membership because I'm stalling on my, mentally inside. I'm not, whatever, just the stuff I'm struggling. ADHD is just kind of snowballing, getting out of control. I mean, I guess that's the easiest way to describe it. Um, so yeah. And so that I'm chasing it more with caffeine and sugar, getting those little buzzes and stuff that kind of help me here and there, but it's not really a fix, it's not really a cure. And then I'm taking out a bunch of extra calories. It's just as you get older, it gets hard to burn calories, especially calories you don't really need. So now I'm back up to my weight, meaning my higher weight, which I've been this is the third time in my life. So this quest, this 30-day quest, as I put in the title, is to start to get my weight back under control, get the ADHD managed so I'm at least consistent and don't have days where I'm almost not functional. Be more productive, that kind of stuff. Get my energy back without caffeine and sugar. So I went through I also put my through like a 24-hour fast. Maybe it was probably a little bit longer than that, but it was like Thursday night to Saturday morning. So I mean it was an honest 30 some hours, whatever it was. And I was trying to do that to help reset my cravings and my appetite and the way I eat as I started the meds. Because I want to get rid of this automatic response I have to run to sugar, or to run to caffeine. And and caffeine, I guess I got to clarify that caffeine in and of itself isn't so bad. It's that my only source for caffeine is soda. So then and soda's just garbage. It's liquid garbage. It's not good for you. It's horrible. I admit that. But it gives me that bump. And I definitely got to find a replacement for, a different caffeine source. Because if you look at my video yesterday, I was just struggling. I do have better energy today, and that's why I'm like, okay, we got to do a video. Let's just get it out, get it going, and be done with it while I got my energy. So I'm trying to learn how to maintain my energy levels without running to sugar, without running to caffeine. And the meds kind of help with that, but the meds don't tell you calorie replacement. So when I'm cutting out the soda and the sugar, I'm also cutting out a lot of calories. And then the meds are also an appetite suppressant, you know, at some level. So I'm trying to learn to pay attention to my body when I'm actually hungry and not when I'm running to calories to deal with my ADHD. So that's where the struggle is real right now. And so we're on this roller coaster of trying to figure out how many calories and watching cuz I one of my punishments in life is I've always been able to eat as much as I want and not feel full. I mean, to an extent. I mean, but at a level that's more calories than I need. We'll just say it in that terms. So it's been a knee-jerk reaction in my life that when I feel run down, run to calories. But then I'm always using unhealthy calories like sugar and soda. And as I'm trying to wean myself off of the sugar and soda, I'm also weaning myself off of caffeine because that's my only source for caffeine. So that's where we get in this trifecta of, everything looped together in such a way that it's countering something else or causing an effect for this and then daisy chaining to that. And it's complicated. I mean, or I shouldn't say complicated so much as it's just frustrating, because you want to run this. And when I'm in fortunately, I'm not in a high stress situation right now, like deadlines and stuff, because that's when I run to soda too. It's like high pressure. It's like, let's have some soda. That caffeine's just going to make me fly, that'll get me through it. So I got to figure out a caffeine substitute, meaning something other than soda. And I'm not a coffee fan, and tea isn't my thing. And so we're still researching stuff like that. Going on, this is I think this is day 2 of being on the meds. Uh, the meds definitely, they feel, you feel them come on, you feel them enter you, you feel it in your body. It, the first time, it felt a little more intrusive, like something foreign coming in. It's like, what's going on here? Like I said, I'm not a chemical person. I don't experiment with drugs, and I don't use cigarettes or alcohol and nicotine, all that stuff. So I mean, my only stimulant in life is pretty much sugar and caffeine. So don't use pain meds, that kind of stuff. So I'm very, I probably got a pretty low threshold of stuff that I'll feel just because I'm not, I don't have much tolerance to anything. And you feel it, you feel them coming on, not in a bad way. It's just, you feel it. Um, and it definitely grabs hold better, or change, if you're a little more charged in the morning, more ambitious to begin with, it definitely kind of helps you ride that wave and grab onto it. Yesterday I was kind of in a slump, but I think I was also pretty calorie depleted, and I think I was fighting low calorie and just kind of, and that's, like I said, that's something I kind of struggling with right now, is figuring out when I'm truly out of fuel, meaning needing food, versus maybe just not being low energy for, psychological reasons. So that's, like I said, that's the struggle now. Just getting dialed in and paying attention to my body, trying to eat only when I'm truly hungry, not feeding my ADHD, or a slump or a barrier, trying to power through it, power through a barrier with food, or sugar or caffeine. So, and then also use that as a way to lose weight. So that's the other goal, is to get my weight down back to where it was. Like I said, this is my third time in life having my weight this high. I'm up over 260 ish, somewhere in there. And so so anyway, so after I got these meds prescribed, they want to do a 30-day follow up. We did blood draws and all that kind of stuff. So also, we're going to do a physical at the 30 days, and I want to check my blood results and see what they are now, because they're back at day one they were taken. And then if there's anything of concern with them, I want to see if any of these changes I make in these 30 days, and then have them retest any of the blood results that are questionable, or, need to be addressed or whatever, and see if that these 30 days have made a difference. Because that's always positive encouragement. It's like, oh wow, that made a huge difference. Look, in 30 days what it did to this. So it can be a good boost for me to keep going if, we see some significant change in the better in these 30 days. It's, that's the reward for your work and your sacrifice. So yeah, what else did I have down here for notes? And like I said, big thing for me in the past is keeping a list. I use paper, I have to. So I got my list going today, and I was feeling pretty good energy this morning, so I wanted to get out a video. I'm still don't yeah, I don't have the alertness, sharpness that I normally have with caffeine in my body. And I don't know how long I can do without caffeine. I've tried, because just recently I tried to give up soda without replacing caffeine, and I didn't last very long. I lasted, I don't know, 10, 12, 14 days, somewhere in there, not terribly long, where I've kicked soda in the past and been completely off of it multiple times. And for lengths of time, like over a year, stuff like that. So I know I'm capable of it, and the best way I can deal with it is cold turkey. But I'm gonna need to find another source of caffeine to keep me off of it, because yeah, I need that mental alertness or buzz I get from caffeine. So got to consider that. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's my biggest thing for today, is stuff I wanted to cover, was just trying to figure out my diet, figuring out when I'm truly hungry, and keeping myself fed so I'm not run down from, calorie depletion or whatever, and not chasing after it with sugar or soda, that kind of stuff, and staying true to my, my diet changes. I did find a guest to talk about this with on the show, and I probably have another one that would be I thought I would get some people I know that are, actively dealing with this and diagnosed and see if we could have some fun conversations around it. So hopefully we'll get that going probably early part of April. And I look forward to that because I think those conversations will be fun because it's always fun to hear somebody else's perspective or their observation or their experience with something exactly you're dealing with. And it kind of confirms things, gives you a little confidence, makes you feel better about you're not alone type stuff. And I think you guys could you guys could benefit from that also. So I guess we'll cut it off here before I start rambling and talking in circles. We're about 21 minutes in. And yeah, so if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys are doing well. If you haven't done already, please subscribe to our channel if you're willing to. If not, if you could at least comment or subscribe, anything helps us out right now. And I hope you guys are doing well, and we will talk to you soon. God bless.